Hello and welcome to my very first tier list. We're going to be ranking all of the mainline Pokemon games today from S plus all the way to garbage tier. So I hope that you guys enjoy this episode. Like and subscribe if your top 3 matches mine. And I hope that you like what you see. Alright, so let's start it off very strong with I've never played green version, so it's going in NA. That's an easy choice, off to a great start. Next up is original Gen 1. I mean, I'm gonna put them in A tier, just regular A tier, because like they started everything off. That's how you know it's a regular Pokemon game. But Pikachu version, the yellow version, Pokemon Yellow version is definitely the definitive game of that era for this generation for me personally. So putting it in S tier. For gold and silver, I don't feel strongly about Johto Gen 2, so I'm gonna put them in B tier. They didn't leave a super great impression on me, and I'm leaving Crystal at the top of B tier because it's just the best out of the 3 of them. But I was not blown away by the sequel of the original games. Ruby and Sapphire definitely hits me in the nostalgia, so I'm putting them in regular S tier. They're going in regular S tier, and then Emerald is going to be our first S plus tier. That is a third version of a game that is just, it does everything for me. Like that battle tower was amazing. All of the ROM hacks that have come out of Emerald version, amazing. Speaking of ROM hacks, Fire Red is going in S plus tier just due to the amount of ROM hacks that have come out for this game. Plus, it's of course, you know, Kanto Gen 1 remake. It's awesome. It's updated graphics. It looks way better than the original Red version. I like it. I've never played Leaf Green. I feel like it is exactly like Fire Red, but you know, version exclusives and whatever when you're playing ROM hacks that have all of the every Pokemon in the decks up till Scarlet and Violet in it, right? So never played Leaf Green before. I'm just gonna leave it in NA because it's irrelevant. You know what I mean? Fire Red definitely dominates the Gen 1 remake scene. Diamond and Pearl, they were pretty good, but I feel like they were disappointing. Like they were missing something, and that something was definitely filled by Platinum. So I'm putting Platinum in S, and then them two in A. Very good games, but just wasn't quite enough to be in the excellent level, you know? Heart Gold was of my of the Gen 2 remakes, it was the one that I owned, so I'm gonna put it in S plus tier. But I do think that those games are really good. I think that either one can be an S plus tier. I just have a preference towards Heart Gold, so that's for me. But I'm putting Soul Silver in the top of S, and then Heart Gold in the top of S plus. So far, because Pokemon Black is the version that I had for Gen 5, so same reason, same kind of logic, but I like Black and White better than Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Like the story was better. The one thing that Heart Gold and Soul Silver had was the Pokemon followed you in that game, and they didn't in Black or Black 2 or White 2, but I just liked Black and White much better in general. And I'm putting White in the top of S right there. So this is so far in order ranking of how much I like each one. So we're doing it real clean today, guys. And you know what? I think that I would actually put Platinum above the Pikachu version. Let's put Pikachu in the very end, and then Ruby and Sapphire good right there behind Platinum. Black 2 and White 2, I did not like them as much as I liked Black and White. So I'm going to put them in the top of A because I really did enjoy them as games, right? But I just they didn't quite do enough for me. Like I felt like they were doing too much, if anything. You know what I mean? Like the Poke Studio stuff right at the beginning of the game, and kind of just locking you out of the parts of Unova that you wanted to be in all the way until the post game. And when you get there, it's kind of, I don't know. It wasn't the greatest for me. I liked Black and White OG better than Black and White 2. X and Y were very disappointing. I really liked the Gen 6 games, right? I like them better than Black and White 2, right? I definitely do. But I don't like them like that much more. I feel like they had missing stuff that I can't forgive. I really hate it when games leave stuff just not taken care of and not done. Especially like all of the cool stuff that they could have done, like specifically the power plant area, that when you're going in that one desert and that one route, I know that this might be only making sense to some people, but that one route where it's like a power plant, and the power plant, you can't even get there. There's a sign that says, oh, this is under construction or something like that. And I'm just like, wow, they legitimately didn't even build it in the game. You know what I mean? And they never came back to it. So I'll never let them live it down. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, they're going in an S plus tier for me. Same situation again. I owned Omega Ruby version, so I'm putting it in the top, and then Alpha Sapphire is pretty much the same thing for me. But definitely S plus tier games. I love the remakes. The remakes are probably my favorite kind of Pokemon games, because when they come back and just add all of the quality of life stuff to an old game that was classic and amazing and had all these memories for it, it really does it for me when they do a really, really, really good remake. But it also really messes me up when they don't do a remake good, and we'll get there. But before we get to those controversial opinions, I have some additional controversial opinions that I think might upset some people who are big fans of Gen 6. So just disclaimer, I really disliked Sun and Moon. I really disliked Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I'm going to do this like this, and I'm going to explain 100% why. So my favorite part of the Pokemon games are the gym challenges, are the gym battles, the Elite Four, the champion climb. That part of the story and the fact that it's consistent through almost all of the mainline games is what keeps me coming back for more. So for these games to throw that away, start up the gym challenge while you're like, I don't know, like they never even came back and brought gym leaders to the game, right? Like this is a great opportunity if you're gonna have a game that doesn't focus on the gym challenge and you're building the gym challenge through the islands, which is apparently what's happening in the story. I've played both versions a couple of times, right? So I'm not like saying like I've played them. They weren't terrible. It's just I really dislike not having the gyms. The gyms really do it for me, and these guys missing it makes me feel like it's missing a very important part of Pokemon. So bad poo-poo garbage, bad tier, poopy tier. These games I never played. The Pokemon, the Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, I've never played. I know about them though, and I feel like if I did play them, I wouldn't like them all that much. I feel like they'd be in C, D, F tier, around there, depending. I feel like the experience also has something to do with it. But just the idea of using Pokemon Go mechanics in a mainline game, and I don't know, that kind of turns me off to it. But then I know that they also have Mega Evolutions, and I love Mega Evolutions. Like I really, 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 really love Mega Evolutions. It's one of my favorite parts of like X and Y and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So I'm happy that they brought that back. I hope they continue to bring Mega Evolutions back, to be honest with you. But I just hope to see it in a game that I actually want to buy. And then Pokemon Sword and Shield, I feel like they're very games, you know what I mean? Very neutral games. I feel like they could be way better, and they're just not. The post game was cool. I liked the DLC that they added. I feel like I liked the DLC better than I liked the actual game, so that might be a problem. But I'm gonna give it a B tier. If I had all of these games in front of me, I definitely wouldn't be looking at Sword and Shield and going, yeah, I'm gonna pick this one up and play it first. You know what I mean? For Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I'm going to give them Poo-Poo Caca tier 2, because honestly, Platinum is a great region. I love Sinnoh so much, and I love remakes. And when you mess up a remake, it's just not something that I'm interested in. You know what I mean? Like I bought it, and I feel like I wish that I didn't. I feel like I wish that this game never came out. I feel like I'm still looking forward to Sinnoh remakes to happen, and they're just not happening. Maybe like DLC for it. I would buy DLC for it if they're saying like platinum version, platinum extension or something like that. Like the Delta episode that they had in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Like if they had a DLC for it, I would pay for it. I really would, because I love Sinnoh. But the way that these games handled it, just not great. On the flip side, I didn't expect to like Pokemon Legends Arceus as much as I did, but I really, really, really enjoyed it. And I think that I enjoyed it so much that it's almost S plus tier for me, but it's just right under it. So I'm going to put it right under the version differences of S plus tier. So that's the highest that I can get in S tier. These guys are technically S plus, but just differentiated based on my nostalgic opinion. You know what I mean? And last but not least, Scarlet and Violet. I think Scarlet and Violet, like, the only thing that's fair is to compare them to Sword and Shield, because they're kind of that tier of games, right? So I'm gonna organize B tier a little bit. I'm gonna say that Sword and Shield are a little bit better than the Pokemon Gen 2 games. Oh, okay, so Gen 2, it seems like it needs its own tier. I'm sorry, Gen 2 fans, but the remakes did it justice, right? So I'm gonna say B tier is definitely where the most recent games are, but I feel like Scarlet and Violet are definitely improvements on the most recent games. I feel like the open worldness is bringing something different to it that I really like. I like the mechanics of Scarlet and Violet. The Pokemon being able to follow you around is really cool. I like that we're going forward, we're not really going too far back, and I feel like Scarlet and Violet is just gonna be more memorable than Sword and Shield in the long run for me personally. All right, everybody, and there you have it. That is the tier list, officially the top 3 games, in my opinion. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, or just Omega Ruby, Black and White, or just Black, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, or just Heart Gold. If my 3 matched your 3, let me know in the comments. Drop a sub, give the video a like, let your friends know that we have amazing taste. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We're gonna keep on doing tier list kind of episodes, and the next couple of Nuzlocke episodes should be out soon. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Bye.